Everyone.
Hi, Sumi. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good as well. I'm very sleep deprived, but I'm
Hi.
very excited for today. I see all of you here. Okay, I'm really excited for this space. Let's see. I hope we're gonna get some good ideas today. So, I'm Sumi, you know me. We're gonna be talking about beauty in my region in Asia Pacific, and questions that we want to answer through this session is gonna be like, how can we collaborate as a region, as well as how can we solve the challenges that we are facing today. So I want it to be more interactive, and yes, let's start. I would like to ask you with some start with something different, talking about learning. So I have a question for you. When was the last time you were seeking proactively to learn something? Or when was the last time you actually learned something new? You can write in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and share. 11 years ago. Oh my goodness. Well,
Okay, so when was the last time I was seeking proactively to learn something would be, I think, today, because I'm starting a new project for PD and PR and I need to like go through a lot of different resources before I work on it. So I think it would be today, and yeah.
thank you for sharing. Jai, 11 years ago, what was it?
Uh, okay. 11 years ago, I think it's around 14 or 15 years ago. Of my learning crocheting and knitting. Yeah, that one is like, even though I'm how to say, I fail to knit something out of that, but then I still proactive learn until I become expert right now. Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's why this this will one this will be one of the things that I think I proactive learn in my life.
Oh my goodness. That is a talent. Not everyone can learn it. What? That's very good. Okay, Lerman says she learned something few months ago. What was it?
Okay. I think a few months ago is when I was the MC director for NPD, which is the role that I in right now. I had to learn how to write proposal because I never write proposal and I'm very bad at writing, especially English writing. I only good at speaking and also listening. Yeah, so I have to learn how to write. I don't know, with business language, professional language. I'm not sure, but writing, yeah.
Oh wow, that's very interesting. Another interesting thing that Andy learned few months ago, his LCP is teaching them how a girl uses a tampon. And then GIE says they're also doing it right now. I'm not sure if she was saying it to Andy's context or
Sorry, my contact is like back to Lolmin's contact.
but very interesting. Andy, do you want to tell us about it?
Yeah, I can tell you about it briefly. So, my previous role was actually LCBB, right, in my LCs as well. And we're about to actually start our AB meeting, and then uh, so tampon is not actually pretty familiar in Indonesia. And then my LCP is actually was in America, and then she continued studying because she's the daughter of the diplomats, and then her friends her friend is actually visited her, and then her her friends brought a lot of tampon for her, and then because like it's not familiar, and then our even staff actually, hey, what's that? Okay. So and then me personally, because like it's proactive, like what is this, because like what is this, how does this work, and then I think it's weird because like it's like a capsule so far so on, and it's just weird. Oh, so you use that on your female part, something like that. Then we asked about that thing, and then turns out the conversation is just like all of the practice, because like a lot of question and answer, a lot of practical experiences as well. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Definitely something new that you would have learned. Thank you. Okay. So I'm gonna skip this part, but the point behind this question was actually that the last time that we learned something new was actually quite a while back, and we as people who are responsible for BD can kind of get comfortable in our routines, like doing sales or having meetings, and we usually have very busy schedules. Like we might be prospecting, we might be talking to companies, but a major part of it in becoming a really good salesperson or just being a very good professional is actually that the learning should always continue. And if you're not spending 5 hours per week learning, you're being irresponsible and you're not really leading yourself anywhere. Maybe something that you think right now that it's been a while that you learned something new. If you think more about it, you might find something that you actually learned in the recent times as well. So, just this quote that in my whole life, I have known no wise people who didn't read all the time. None. So, the point is not that you should always be reading, you should always be reading. And depending on your primary dominant senses, if you are more of a visual person who likes to read things or who likes to see things with their eyes, you can read it. You can start reading blogs, you can start reading books. And if you're a person who likes to listen to things, then you can perhaps start listening to some podcasts. And if you're a person who just likes to have fun, watch some Netflix series. You can even start watching. There is a series called Mad Men, and it's basically about advertising and sales industry. And it's a lot of drama, but you actually get to learn a lot of such things. So I'm saying that these kind of learning should always continue. And sometimes we can get comfortable in our own zones, in our own roles. So that should never happen. So the thing is, we are 7 people, we are totally 8 people in this room right now. And we have so much knowledge. We have a lot of different strengths. We have a lot of different areas where we lack. So let's use it, the knowledge that we have, the areas that we excel in today, the areas that we lack in today. And one of the things that I've realized in the past 5 months that I've been regional manager is that we can have more regional communication within the region, because even though we have this whole global BD network as well, which is wonderful, a lot of our realities are more similar within the region. So we can really benefit from each other like that. And these are some of the things that you all actually chose when you were in the IC track for BD, that these are the things that you would like to see happening in ISEC, or you would like to contribute to ISEC. So it's like collaboration, being explorers, sustainability, adaptability in organization, and centricity, customer centricity. And the thing is, if we think about it, we really need to assess if we are really leading towards that, or if we are really just sticking to our normal norms, normal routines. And it's touch points like this, and it's a session like this that I really want to understand from you, like how can we as a region be more stronger together, be more collaborative together. So talking about collaboration, I would like to know from you, in which ways have you collaborated so far, or can you collaborate with ISEC in Asia Pacific BD? So yeah, maybe wait a minute, we can skip that. And wait, you can go here. It's okay, it's not working. These are some of the things that we can do together, like sales, sharing knowledge, emotional support. Emotional support is so important in sales times. It is so important. And this is something that I will kind of start doing with all of you as well. And I would like to see all of us kind of sharing our successes, kind of sharing our failures, or some funny things that probably happen in your sales meeting, because there will be a lot of strange things that would happen in sales meetings. And then even like for feedback, for example, like we had this portfolio feedback space yesterday. We only went through one, but we can have more such spaces. And dot dot dot, as in it can be anything according to you. So I would like to us to take like a few minutes. If you cannot write right now, you can write to me on WhatsApp and I can fill in the sheet for you. We will go to our working sheet now. And what we'll do is We will take 10 minutes and it's individual working time. You need to answer 3 questions. What do I need? What support do I need to become a better MCVP PD? And what support can I give to the region? Which knowledge can I share? What are my strengths? And if you have some ideas for regional collaboration, you don't need to be that detailed right now. But if you have some idea, like what if we had a, let's say, a regional GLD? So if you have like such ideas that might have popped up in your minds in the past few months, that would be nice. That it would be nice to implement. You can write those things in your worksheet. You go to the BD in my region tab, and I'm going to share this link with you now. And I see that some of you are not with your laptops, so you can just write to me on WhatsApp, or I can just, yeah, if you can do that, would be great. Sharing it here. Okay, you can go here, and here you will see this tab. Just enter your person name, and then you have the questions here. You can take 10 minutes and we come back here back. Okay, come back. If you're back, you can write in the chat that you're back. Guys, you can be back. If you're back, write in the chat. Can you hear me? Amazing. Harsh is back.
Yes, yes.
Okay, super. So I would like to open space for 2 sharings, what you learned or what you wrote in the sheet, and then we can move on. Any 2 people?
Can I share?
Sure, sure.
Perfect. So specifically, okay, yeah, specifically things that I wrote in 2 terms. I looked at my current scenario, so I also mentioned personally and things that I could take from the network. So we really need more conversation in terms of what the network is doing. I mean, I'm not blaming anyone, but on a personal level, even I am not communicating with a lot of people. There are a set of 4 or 5 people that I communicate with on a monthly basis in terms of how I'm doing, how they're doing, and what can be done, and how can I take help from them. So that's something which is there. At the same time, I just feel that it is somewhere down the line very work oriented. When it's work, you're just talking. Otherwise, it's never really happening. So probably that is something that we can look at eliminating, considering we still have 7 to 8 months left to our term. Uh, at the same time, when I say proactive in terms of having conversation about regional collaboration, one of the things that is also, I mean, I could see that from a lot of LCs. I mean, from a couple of MCs, but when it comes to even putting forward a word that there's this company, and if anyone wants to collaborate, I'm more than happy to talk about it, because I mean, I've started doing this in the past 2 months. That even the last meeting that I went with my MCP, and we were just telling that we at least put forward this one question that apart from India, do you look at expanding anywhere else? This is one question that we always ask. I mean, there are a couple of companies that we've already shared to the network. Things like even AirMeet, a lot of entities are doing.
Yeah,
I mean, we just wanted to make sure that the other entities are leveraging out of it, and that's something. I mean, not an expectation, but it would definitely be great for a lot of entities when we go out and talk about any sort of partnership. If you talk about the other regions, it will definitely work out really well. And one of the things that I need from the network is innovation in terms of deliverables. Yes, there are a set of deliverables, there are things, but there are that sort of innovations that is required, and that's something that I'm looking forward to. On a personal level, one thing that I'm still in the process of learning is performance management. It hasn't been the best so far, so that's something that I want to work on more effectively. At the same time, consistency is also something. I mean, I would love to have a conversation and learn in terms of how people are doing. So that's there. What can I offer? I'm personally responsible for 31 LCs in 31 LCs for local committee vice president for business development for ISIC in India. So there's a huge amount of sales that goes on there, and I handle them. And there are a lot of partnerships wherein we leverage through them, through national partnerships. So that could be something that we can talk about. And in terms of client relationships, whatever number of clients we have, I'm in very good terms in terms of how I communicate with them, and I from personal level I emotionally connect with a lot of them. So something that we can talk about. At the same time, considering ISIC in India, we have done multiple virtual events. Probably in 3 months back, we were into a process of experimenting a lot of things. That too, where around 10, 15 entities experimented multiple events. But now it has come to a point that every 2 months there's one virtual event that an entity does with a good 400, 500 people who come down to their event, and multiple partnerships happening. So that's there, and they've been able to successfully deliver all of it. So I'm aware of all those two, and we can have a conversation. And even innovation in terms of revenue generation. With respect to us, from nationally, locally, entities have started raising through n number of means, and through webinar partnerships or through collaborations wherein they're acting as a mediator and trying to understand how can they put value to XYZ college through XYZ partnership, wherein we're also generating revenue. At the same time, we're also adding value, and we're also effectively able to sell virtual events through XYZ sponsorships. At the same time, ticket sales are also going really well. There are entities who are raising good amount of, I mean, if I had to say in US dollars, good $2,000 in one event through ticket sales. So that's, I mean, considering the situation right now, it's really well. So that is there. And when I say ideas for regional collaborations, there is nothing specific. I mean, there is a lot that can be done. I mean, I remember last year when I was a VPVD, we did the world's largest lesson with 50,000 students in India itself, which happened in one day with all the cities at once. I mean, as simple as doing it with just the reason, as long as people are on board and having enough time to take it forward. So, I mean, anything that we take up can be taken up as a regional collaboration. It's just that there is an initiative that's required, and that's something that we can look at doing. Thank you.
Thank you so
I'm
much
sorry
for
I shared a
sharing
lot.
that. No, I appreciate it. I think we don't have more time for sharing, but according to on the lines of what Harsh was mentioning right now as well, I want to give you more space on kind of brainstorming how we can perform better as a region. So what can we do to ensure that we collaborate on a regular basis and also better as a region? So we will have 10 minutes again. I'm gonna break you out in the rooms. What you're gonna do, here's what you're gonna do. Yeah, so you will have solution spaces. So it's basically you're gonna the breakout rooms that are gonna be there. You're gonna be sharing ideas that you have for regional collaboration, and based on those, you're gonna come up with at least one that you're gonna pitch for like 2 minutes in the next space that we're gonna have. Okay, so I'm gonna be breaking out the rooms. We are okay. 2 to 3 people. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna share the presentation link with you, and you're gonna just write it in the slide. 10 minutes. Welcome back. Amazing. So we can directly start with the presentations. Group number 1. Whose presentation is this?
Oh, this is number 3, room
Okay.
number 3. Yeah. But then what is the things that we think we can do more is actually cross-selling over the region, because some of the company might, let's say, Isaac Malaysia is actually having a collaboration with Nestle. Then if let's say we know Nestle is actually having a like HQ in Vietnam or any other else, then we can actually talk to them, should like channel them to either in Vietnam or any other country, then to do the sales together, and they are more familiar. And then another thing is also about similar to GTA, like cross-selling over the region. And then the second point is actually we need to have more discussion space, because I think different country have different contexts. But then I think work as an AP, then they must have some similar point that we can learn from each other as well. Yeah. Or even like PCP that we should avoid. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that sharing. Good job. Room number 3. Okay, next room.
Ayush, now, okay. Hello.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, perfect. So, I mean, honestly, we were a little unclear in terms of are we supposed to discuss as to how can we ensure that these collaborations are happening, or we need to look at collaborations that can be done. So, the collaborations are something that we've already discussed in the previous calls multiple times. So, one of the things that Kunal also mentioned, that we had a call with Singapore wherein we try to understand what are our respective markets and how can we fit in that particular product in our respective market and take it ahead. So more such calls can be something that we can be, it can something that can really work out, because let's be honest, we have written down in multiple sheets in terms of the kind of collaborations that we want, but we aren't really active in terms of doing it. Probably one way could be wherein we are effectively connecting through, let's say, the XYZ meeting that we have, wherein we are putting forward a word that this is something that I have, and if you're interested, we can take it up. So that's one thing. Also, the regional calls that we have, probably we can have this fixed agenda that, there could be one space wherein if there are people interested, they can put forward a word that this is a company and this company is also looking forward to expand, and if anyone's interested, I can take the word forward. So that's one aspect. And the third thing is something that we missed. I'm not quite sure, because we haven't really talked about it in the regional group, but we aren't very upfront in terms of asking for help, because when we look at collaborations, the whole idea is that you can't expect the other person to always come to you and tell you that, okay, I have this person, do you want to take it up? It's our responsibility to go reach out to that person, ask for help, even if we have to take 10 days to get a reply, as simple as that. So probably that's one thing, that's something that we can look at, which can effectively help us execute the whole collaboration plan. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Is there anything else that anybody else would like to share as well? Anyone? Okay, so for now, this is gonna be it for this session. And I hope this was kind of insightful for you. And in the next session, we are just gonna be wrapping up all the learnings and the clear call to actions from the BD track. Is the last session for the BD track. And we made it for the long 6-day conference. And yeah, we're almost done. See you in 2 minutes. We're a bit over time, but see you in 2 minutes.